Hello, hello, hello. All of you new to the work today. In this community, what we do together is identify the thoughts that cause all the suffering in our world. We identify them. We mindfully recognize them in our head. We move those thoughts from our head to paper. And there are our thoughts stabilized. They don't, yeah, but, or blah, blah, blah. They're just stopped right there, isolated, so we can question them with open hearts. Open heart, open mind. Can't have one without the other. It's a match. But did you feel that closed heart? I question it, and it's like, oh, yeah, yeah, open heart, connected again. Doesn't mean we have to have lunch anytime soon. But my heart is open. That's a way of saying without malice, without malice. So, what is guilt? It is believing something against my heart. My heart, when I am believing something, let's say about you, him, her, them, that goes against my heart, that emotional is a way of getting in touch with what guilt feels like, even though you didn't say it out loud or pass it on to someone in an email. Those thoughts about him, her, them. No one can keep me on the straight and narrow. That's my that's my job. That's my job. Yeah, but. Ooh, good one. Good one. That. Yeah, but I know. Mind. It's not fair. It's not fair. What does that mean? Not fair to whose world? Oh, that would be mine again. Not right, not wrong, just noticing. Nothing to teach here other than what are those 4 questions and what is a judge your neighbor worksheet. And those of you new to the work today, yeah, welcome, welcome. Caitlin, honey, you have a question or a worksheet or what's going on with you?
Hi, Katie.
Hi.
Hi. I just a little bit overwhelmed talking to you. My
Good.
husband and I, we've been listening to you for a couple years now. And I have to say, you and a few other teachers, you really saved our marriage. We've gone
Oh,
through some really hard times. And this is something that I've been working on using your worksheet many times, and it's still, I guess, it's still unresolving. So I was hoping if you could help me today.
okay, let's look at a little unfinished business.
It is.
Unfinished Earth School business.
Yeah. Excited.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Denise, so number 1 and the situation.
number one, I am hurt and saddened by my husband because he doesn't love me as much as I love him.
Okay, and the situation.
The situation is it's an ongoing issue. My husband loves using marijuana, and he's been using it ever since California makes it legal. And I've noticed that he's been using it more and more, and even his friends who also use it recreationally thinks that he is on a higher dosage. And we've talked about his marijuana use many times in the past, and of course, I've done several Just Your Neighbor worksheets in this situation. And during those times, I concluded that he is who he is, and that I love him for who he is. And I guess it's not true because it keeps coming back. Um,
Okay, so let's look at let's your husband doesn't love you as much as you love him. What is the situation that comes to your mind, even though many situations anchor in one?
I feel that if he loves me as much as I love him, if he brought a concern to me, I would pay more attention or maybe contemplate about it instead of just kind of
So,
brush it off.
so imagine the two of you in the kitchen and he's smoking, or maybe the two of you in the living room. You know, what comes to your mind where you are experiencing the thought, he doesn't love me as much as I love him? What? He walks into the kitchen and you're feeling good, good night's rest, and he walks in and he's smoking. Is it smoking? Is it marijuana that way, or is he ingesting it?
Um, well, he does gummies in the morning and then he smokes the little pen throughout the day and he
Oh,
smokes
yeah,
something at night.
yeah. So where is it that he is smoking as he's got his pen and he's taking hits off of it and he's walking what into the kitchen?
Yeah. And I guess it's just overall, he should know that
But
I'm not
no,
very
no, no, no,
comfortable.
overall, I'm going to hold you, sweetie, because you say you've been working on this for a while and you're still hanging on to it. And
Yeah.
here we are. This is the time, this is the place. Anchor, it could be in the car where he's doing it. It could be in one situation where you are thinking, he doesn't love me as much as I love him. If he did, he would give that up. That's the assumption.
Yes.
Okay. So, what is that time and place in your mind's eye where you are believing it? Maybe he has promised and he broke his promise.
He's not the type where he would promise something that he wouldn't do.
Okay,
So he
so
never said that. He's never said
okay,
that he would
so
quit.
that's so I'm it's this is my attempt to support you into just anchoring in one time, one place, even though there are a million. One time in one place where you were believing he doesn't love you as much as you love him.
I guess it brought me back to our many fights. And he would always say things like, well,
Okay,
this
now
is who I
you're
am,
go ahead.
and this is who I am, and if you just don't if you can't accept me or you don't I can't he won't change. And if I want to leave, then I could leave.
Yes. Okay. And where are you when you're imagining that? In the bedroom, in the living room?
We were in a car with his brother and his brother's wife and the two nieces going to LA. And his brother was the one who actually brought up the issue with the marijuana. And so I took the opportunity to express my my feelings about it. And he pretty much told me that, you married this guy, and if you don't like it, then you can do something about it.
Okay, so in that situation, anchor there, be there now in the car with his brother, your husband saying what he's saying. Your husband doesn't love you as much as you love him. Your husband doesn't love you. as much as you love him. Get anchored there. Don't change anything. Don't change what he's saying. Don't just listen to his words. Being in touch with your words, his words, taking all of that in now as in that time and place coming back to you. Listen closely to his words. He doesn't love you as much as you love him. Is it true? Listen. Look at his face. Look at his body language. Hear his words. He doesn't love you as much as you love him. Now notice your words. Notice your words in front of his brother. Your husband doesn't love you as much as you love him. Is it true? Get in touch with what you're saying. Get in touch with what your husband's expressing. Be there now. He doesn't love you as much as you love him. Is it true? And the answer, those of you new to the work, it is either yes or no. This work it does require stillness, living in that moment, in that situation, witnessing, listening, getting in touch with. He doesn't love you as much as you love him. Is it true?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. So just feel that yes, and stay in the car. Don't move throughout this process. Notice how you react. What happens when you think the thought, he doesn't love me as much as I love him, and he is saying, if you don't like it, you can do something about it. Notice how you react when you think the thought, he doesn't love me as much as I love him. When he says, if you don't like it, you can do something about it. Hear his words. Look at him saying what he says. Noticing your attitude, your speaking up in front of his brother. He doesn't love you as much as you love him. Notice how you react when you believe that thought. Notice what you say and do. Notice your attitude.
I was very hurt and angry. And I remember I just wanted to get out of there. I couldn't be there.
Okay, now I'm hearing your internal. But how did you react? You just want to get out of the car. You know, those were images of the future as you sat in the car. And then recalling his words, that was the past as you were sitting in the car. So notice how you treated him, for example, how you responded with words, with attitude, with hurt. Maybe you went into pain, and maybe you used your brother-in-law to point out your hurt and how your husband's hurting you. I mean, look at how you react in that situation. I want you to meet your ego.
All the above. words, attitude, pain, everything.
Husband doesn't love you as much as you love him. Continue to be there where you are right now without the thought. And get connected with your husband, with what he's saying. If you don't like it, you can do something about it. Who would you be without the thought? He doesn't love me as much as I love him.
And I guess there wouldn't be any problems in a relationship.
So just be there. Other than what you're thinking and believing, I mean, look at him. He's not throwing you out of the car, and that's a. And he's not humiliating you in front of his brother. He's giving you a clear option. And he's not stopping the car saying, you don't like it, you have no choice. I'm doing something about it. He's not doing that.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
My husband doesn't love me as much as I love him. Just try this on. My husband does love me as much as I love him. So be there now, and as you contemplate that, see if you can see where that could be as true or truer than what you're believing. My husband does love me as much as I love him. And try this one on. My husband loves me much more than I love him in that situation.
That he didn't throw me out of the car.
Well, no, you know your husband. I've never met him. Could be. Look at how you're calling him out in front of your brother, his brother, and showing your victimhood when your husband is offering you a choice option. My husband does love me as much as I love him. Try that one on. You're smoking with anger and he's smoking with marijuana.
Yeah. I guess I was even more angry
So
because
don't guess. Don't guess. This work is not about guessing. Say what you're going to say without that, I guess. What I see is, or what I'm becoming aware of is, or what I'm noticing is.
What I'm becoming aware of is there's no change for him. No one can make him do anything he doesn't want to do. And people
Isn't
can
that one,
do that
isn't that
they
one of the
think they
things
can
you,
do.
isn't that one of the things you find most attractive about him?
Only with the things I agree with.
So in some way, yeah, he's living his life. That's him. And you don't have to stay. You could do something about it. But that's him. And notice again how you react when you think the thought, he doesn't love me as much as I love him. As you witness what he is experiencing of you in front of his brother, and what he experiences of you at home when the two of you are alone together and he's smoking.
I rarely say anything about his marijuana use.
Well, do you give him the look?
No, I've learned to not do that either.
How do you let it show?
It's from the it's from him. It's from the experience of when he first using that I talked about how what is my stand on it. But from at least 2-3 years ago, when I first did one of your worksheets, and I noticed that I was judgmental towards him, and I didn't want to be like that anymore. So I told him that I was sorry and that I shouldn't judge him, and that if I if I marry him and love him, then I should love him for who he is, including what is it that I like or not like about him. So I don't say anything like that to him. It was just lately that I noticed that he's been more depressed, more sad. And when I look up on research and they say that marijuana and depression are linked. And so I brought it up to him again, thinking that maybe he could look into it, maybe seek therapy. There's a lot of traumas in his past that he said it
Honey,
hasn't
we can go on and on and on with this. You know, half of the people here are going to say, you know, that's great, that's great, that's great. You know, he shouldn't. And then half of the people here maybe are thinking, leave the guy alone. Leave him alone. we cannot make another person get over an addiction. And then when the people we love do get over the addiction, we take the credit for it, as though all of our ill treatment works in some way. All of our disrespect works in some way, and it's done out of a pure heart that seems sometimes to be carrying a little motive drive within it, that, oh, this is for your own good, and look into it. They say, it causes a little depression. You may want to, we have the ego has every angle in the world. But what about unconditional love? You can love someone unconditionally and still leave. Just like your husband said, if you don't like it, you can do something about it. And I'm not pro or con. I'm free. I would leave or love him the way he is. And how do I love him the way that he is? A lot of worksheets, just like you're doing. Because anything less than that means, this is all my fault.
Yeah, I felt like that.
I'm his wife, and he's just wasting away, to my mind, and it's all my fault. That's it's not. But he's smoking, and you're smoking angry, and he's smoking marijuana. Those thoughts inside of you on how to change him are just smoking your relationship, just heated. Just because we stop verbally criticizing doesn't mean we stop criticizing. It shows up everywhere. We give them the look, and then we try to make it right. And I mean, we live these secret lives of quiet discontent and not so quiet.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's what it's been, quiet discontent.
And either way, you're living with him. And there are two ways to live with him. You can have a life. You can have a life with him, not the him of your imagination, but a life with him. That's your husband. Or you have that option he gave you. You don't have to like it. You can do something about it. You can leave or just keep doing your work. And, I can love someone and leave. I can love that someone and stay. It has nothing to do with love. When you love him, you love him. But I love him if that's the ego's world. Your husband doesn't love you as much as you love him. Look at what he deals with. We've seen what you deal with. You deal with. He smokes. And he's depressed, you think. But who would you be? Who would he be living with if you drop the thought, he doesn't love me as much as I love him?
Be living with someone who is happy instead of trying really hard to be happy.
Yeah, you're in love with an imaginary husband, not him. So catch up with your beautiful self. Whether you stay or go. catch up with your beautiful self. From where I sit, you really love this guy, but you're confused about the if. And that keeps you from loving him just the way he is.
Yeah.
If my husband doesn't love me as much as I love him, try this turnaround in that situation in the car. I don't love me as much as he loves me.
I don't see it.
Okay. We don't always. It's just something to sit in, and you do that beautifully, honey. Let's look at number 2. You know, on number 1, I'm hurt and sad because my husband doesn't love me as much as I love him. Who would you be without that thought in the car? Watch him smoke. Be in the car.
Yeah. I'd probably be taking a nap.
Yeah, no, not probably. Be there now without the thought. Don't change anything. Just drop the thought. He doesn't love me as much as I love him. He's smoking. Brother in the back seat. Who are you? Look out the window. Look where you are. And feel you're sitting on a seat. You know, you're not even noticing. So notice. And notice what you're driving by, and look at your husband. He's taking hits off of his pen. And just stay there until you enjoy the ride. Listen to the banter. Is there music on the radio? What's going on? Be there just the way it is without the thought he doesn't love me as much as I love him.
The ride was fun. That's how they talk. They always talk like that. They always have things to talk about, and they show lots of concerns and love for each other. And I was just in the back, listening to Adia Shanti and just enjoying the ride.
Honey, how beautiful. And even knowing you, they would invite you to the brotherhood. That's amazing. And not hold back. You know, that says a lot about how they think of you.
Yeah, really, there's no secrets in the family, and there's no disconnection. That's why I didn't think it was an issue to speak my mind with his brother, because he's a brother to me too.
So you were a traitor to his brother. to your brother's brother, which was your husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to kick one of them out of the brotherhood, girl.
I didn't see it that way, but yeah. Try and gang up on him.
Yeah, brother against brother if you're successful. And your ego would say, but I just want what's best for him. This is for his own good. Notice how you react when you believe that thought. It's it's not good.
No, no,
And it doesn't change him. It
no.
gives him cause to take another hit, potentially.
Yeah, yeah. Made him feel like he got gang up on. I guess he didn't like it.
You think? I don't think you were guessing. Okay,
I
honey.
took the opportunity. I had a support.
Yeah, yeah. Grab that brother and we'll just go for the brother. And without that help, honey, it leaves the two brothers in the front seat and you left out in the back. Yeah. And they didn't kick you out of the brotherhood. You did that. Not right or wrong, but it's good to be connected and noticing the things that you can change and those things you cannot change. An addiction is, and another is one of those things that more often than not fall into that category.
You're right.
You know what addiction is about? It's about trying to stop the head from being such a downer. I should stop smoking. This is hurting her. You know, this isn't. And as I hit on that, take another hit.
I don't understand. Are you saying I drove him to smoke?
No, just that it's a downer. It's like, as your husband, I want to please you, but I'm an addict here.
Mm. Yeah, I can see that.
And you know, there's some say that, that some might say with what you're thinking and believing and the way that comes out would drive someone to addiction, but that's not, I don't buy that either. In some sense, yes, but in another sense, there's it's on the addict. And the greatest medicine for that in my world is unconditional love. Just to, and I've lived it, just to let my addict die before I would say anything not love or feel anything not love against that human being.
You're right. He does ask for that all the time. I was just too hurt.
Yeah. So you can ask for that. You can ask yourself for that. Then you have two of you asking for that, asking you for that. But, drop that addiction, the addiction of trying to change that person you love, knowing that you can always leave. You're not trapped. you love him.
Yeah.
Your husband doesn't love you as much as you love him. Just try it on. My husband does love me more than I love him when he's smoking.
When he's smoking?
I think I missed that one. My husband does love me as much as I love him.
He
Even
does say that too.
even when he's smoking.
Yeah. Yeah, he does say that.
Even considering your how you are in the back seat of the car. So let's look at number 2. In that situation, what did you want your husband to think, say, feel, or do?
I want him to understand why I think marijuana is bad for him and quit.
You want him to understand that that's bad for him. He doesn't understand that's bad for him.
Yeah, that's why he continues to use.
He doesn't understand that's bad for him. Is it true?
It's true. He thinks it's the best thing
No,
for him.
no, no, no. It's I say no, 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 to just to help you recall that that's not self-inquiry, that's defense. Self-inquiry, we're looking for a yes or a no in that situation where you are saying what you're saying from the back seat. He doesn't understand why you think marijuana is bad for him. Is it true? Get still. He doesn't understand why you would say that. Is it true?
Yes, it's true.
And how many times have you expressed it?
Probably more than I could remember.
And he doesn't understand why you think marijuana is bad for him. Get in touch with your lectures.
He understands, he just doesn't agree.
So it's just not true that he doesn't understand. You want him to understand why you think marijuana is bad for him.
I want him to agree
He
that
does.
marijuana is bad for him.
Look at your paper. I want him to understand why I think marijuana is bad for him and to quit. You see that? In that situation, in the back seat of the car, notice how you react when you think the thought. You want him to understand why you think marijuana is bad for him. And he's heard it from you before.
Yes.
Not blind, he's not deaf, he's driving, he's listening. You want him to understand why you think marijuana is bad for him and to quit. Is it true? So now you're a little wiser because you've worked number 1. Get really still in the back seat. You want him in that situation to understand why you think marijuana is bad for him and to quit. Is it true? And it's a yes or no. It's just, contemplate it because no, there are no right or wrong answers. There's only the one that you contemplate between those yeses and nos. And sometimes we're shocked at what shows up. And sometimes it's soft. Sometimes it's just, it's all about being there now.
No, no. I
So,
want him to agree
oh, no,
with
no,
me.
no, just be there with that no. Be there in the situation. Listen to Audio Shanti. Listen to your husband, his brother. Just be there now. Without the thought, I want him to understand why I think marijuana is bad for him. And to quit. So get present in the brotherhood. Notice as you look out the window at life, in the car, out of the car. Audio Shanti, beautiful medicine going on in the brotherhood. Continue to be there now. I don't want him to understand why I think marijuana is bad for him. He already knows. He's heard your song before. So just rest in that and be there. It's a great place to be.
Yeah.
It's a marriage. With the thought or without the thought, there's the thing. He smokes. Good times, connection, family. If he had a broken leg in a cast, you wouldn't take off that cast, walk. What's the matter with you? It's bad for you not to walk. You're trying to take away his legs.
Yeah, he did say marijuana is very good for him. And however he saw it, it's how he thought it is.
This doesn't mean that you agree with it or condone it or anything. It means you love him. And you've really tested this thing. You can't stop him. So that leaves love and acceptance. And you don't have to, you can leave. You know, when I want to leave someone, when I love them 100%, beyond all doubt, I'm just completely connected. You know, if we're going to leave, we can leave like that. I know that from experience as well.
I don't know how to do that yet.
Well, you're not ready. For me, it's I love you with all my heart and I need to leave now. I never want to lose connection with you and I need to leave now. And I don't have to say why. But if he asks, you know, you could say it. I just don't want to live with you as someone addicted to marijuana. I mean, that wouldn't be news to him. He's already said, quote, if you don't like it, you can do something about it. But there are two ways to stay. There you have two ways there. Love him unconditionally or leave. Or you can stay and try to change him, and then you're in the same place. After all the work you've done, you're landing in the same place. And up to now, no matter what you've been thinking and believing, and every trick in your book, he's still smoking, and you're still there. So that leaves, you know, try unconditional love as an option. And that will allow you still whether to come or go. I want him to understand why I think marijuana is bad for him and to quit. Let's turn it around. I don't want him to understand why I think marijuana is bad for him. Why might that be true? He's heard your song before. He already knows what you think. Every time he walks into a room with it, every time you walk into a room where he is, he knows it.
If he doesn't understand why I think it's bad for him, then he'd be much freer. He he could do whatever he wants without knowing that someone disapproves of it.
Imagine giving him a wife like that. And imagine being a wife like that. There are two ways to be with him. He smokes. Blaming someone else for our unhappiness. Would destroy a marriage.
He doesn't need someone who criticizes him. He needs a support.
No, because he already knows what you think.
Yes.
Sit well. There are 3 of you in that marriage, and that's how it is. You, him, and marijuana. And to my mind, he loves you both dearly.
At least marijuana is cheaper, I think.
Yeah. Who would you be without the thought? Look at him. He's taking a hit in the car. Okay, who would you be without the thought? I want him to understand why I think marijuana is bad for him and to quit. Look at him. Look at that guy without that thought.
He's a pretty smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
Someone who will even bring his wife on the trip as a Beck's witness.
You're right.
That
Yeah.
guy.
Despite all that, we spent a lot of time together and gone on a lot of trips together.
Let's look at 3. In that situation, to get what you want, what advice would you offer him? And those of you new to the work, when you're filling in this worksheet, make sure it's doable to get what you want, which is you want him to understand why you think marijuana is bad for him and to quit. To get what you want, what advice would you give him?
Oh, this is bad advice. He should not use vices or substances to deal with emotional pain. Instead, he should have the courage to face the pain and understand where it's coming from to resolve it.
He uses substances to deal with emotional pain. Where would he get emotional pain? There are 3 of you in that car.
At that time, I think it has become more of a habit for him.
And look at the habit you're in.
The nagging wife.
The one with the ultimatum. Not just nagging, but there's ultimatum there. You know, the threat of. Who would you be without the thought? Be in the back seat now. And he's taking a hit. Okay, who would you be without the thought? He shouldn't use substances to deal with emotional pain. And who would you be without the thought he should have courage to face emotional pain and solve it?
I'd be sitting back and let him deal with his own things, and if he needs me, he would call out for me. I mean,
Honey, I'm just experiencing the respect you hold, the respect that you hold for him. He's smart, knows what he's doing. Even knowing how you feel, he'd invite you to on the trip.
yeah,
Okay, so let's meet your husband. Be there now. You're in the back seat. He's taking a hit. He should use substances to deal with emotional pain. He's hooked on something he knows you don't approve of. And as far as you know, it's holding your marriage together in that situation.
yeah, you're right. I mean, if he knew how to deal with his pain differently, he would have done it.
And with the help of marijuana, it could be a great help in that area, in that arena, dealing with his emotional pain that he carries. Even as close as the two of you are, you can't really know his. It's enough to know your own.
You're right. He did say all these things, but I guess it took a different person to tell me for me to hear it.
Well, you're in touch with it yourself now. That makes you closer. You're in touch with what he's in touch with. That's a marriage. It's understanding. He should have courage to face emotional pain and solve it. Well, that's what he's doing in his own way.
He is doing that.
And who's doing better emotionally in the car, him or you? I mean, who's dealing with their emotional stuff in the car?
Mm,
Of the two of you, which one of you are dealing with it
he is,
in his own way?
yeah. He's been doing that for a long time now.
Yeah, that's your husband. That's that guy. For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. That's that guy.
Yep, that guy.
Yeah, that guy you're in love with. He uses marijuana and you use emotions. You know, what you're thinking and believing is holding you up, and he's dealing with his emotional his way.
Mm.
And when you look at the two of you, if you had to choose, I mean, look at the two of you. Who's in the, let's look at four. In that situation, what do you need what do you need him to think, say, feel, or do? What would make you happy?
Uh,
To be happy, what do you need him to think, say, feel, or do? So read number 4 on your worksheet.
to be happy, my husband should listen to me, understand how I feel, do the things that I like, tells me he loves me, and stops using marijuana.
Okay. So would that make you happy?
I
Really?
think so, yeah.
If he did all of that, would that make you happy? So consider
That sounds pretty great.
if he listened to you. So he wasn't listening to you, is it true? Check it out. You were saying what you were saying. He wasn't listening to you, is it true?
It's not true. He listened.
Yeah, he heard you.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand how you feel. Is it true?
No,
No, it's an old song. He gets it. You want him to do the things you like, meaning you want him to stop. You want him to stop. You want him to do that thing you like.
yeah.
Is it true?
No,
Oh, God.
no. That's the only way that he knows how to deal with his emotional pain. Then I don't want him to stop.
Now notice when you're believing the thought you want him to stop in the car, notice the things you say, you do, your attitude. Notice those images of past and future in your head when you think the thought to be happy. For me to be happy, I need him to listen to you and stop and to understand how you feel and to stop using marijuana. Notice those images in your head, honey. You see something in the future that is really scary.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is
He would never stop using. He'd just get more depressed and more angry, and we'd be so disconnected that we wouldn't even have a marriage anymore.
so in the car, that's the image you're holding.
Yeah.
So who would you be without that ego's play in your head? Look at your husband. taking a hit in the car with you and your brother. You without the thought, I need him to listen to me. I need him to understand how I feel. I need him to do the things I like. Your little dictator sitting back there. Would you be without the thought? I want him, by the way, to tell me he loves me and to stop using marijuana.
I can just leave him alone. He would probably love me more.
It would be easier if he didn't see you and feel such guilt. Looking at you, unable to separate the things you've said and done. He looks at you and he sees a disappointed wife. And that's hard.
Yeah.
When someone loves you, living under those conditions, and sees you disappointed. And they're hooked on something that supports them emotionally and more. Imagine him beginning to, it's like, imagine living with him without the thought, I need him to listen to me. I need him to understand how I feel. I need to understand that he's on the wrong path. I need him to tell me that he loves me, by the way, and I need him to stop using marijuana. Imagine being that wife without those thoughts. Look at the difference in his wife.
I'm that person most of the time, and he really liked that.
And it could take him a long time not to see you as that person that you are. So that requires you to stay in this work. And the fourth question, who would I be without the thought he should stop using? Oh, honey, I'm so not guessing at this. It's magical. And it doesn't mean living in denial. It doesn't deny what you're thinking and believing. It's just that you become awake to what your values really are. Just remember let's say he's hooked on what he's smoking and you're hooked on what you're thinking. So break your own habits, and this work wakes us up. It's not as though we're breaking a habit. It's like we're getting to know ourselves, those pieces of us that are the cause of our suffering.
They really are.
So you're smoking it. Smoking upset, smoking angry, smoking disappointed in that guy. So that's the wife he's living with to his mind.
Oh man, that's terrible.
It's hard. easier to love. You know, the ego says, if you really love him, you'll do all of this to save him in the name of I love you. Mm, that's the ego's world. This hurts me more than it hurts you. No, it doesn't. Or I would. I just get in touch with my own pain and just say that's enough.
Yeah.
And work sheet a day on that guy.
Actually, it's more saying like, oh, what about me? If I only love him, then who's gonna love me?
Say that again.
If I only care for him, then who would care for me?
And how can he? How can he? You have this requirement that he can't meet.
Yeah.
So you have your habit of judging him, and he has his habit of judging himself.
He does. He does that more than I
Oh,
do.
yeah, yeah, that's depression. So let him take that over, and just your job is to love him
You're right.
or leave. But I would choose love him whether you stay or go. You do. I need him to tell me he loves me, so be in the car. I need me to listen to him, so listen to him. Is he talking to you, his brother, listening to the radio? Listen, be there now, and understand how he feels when you bring that up in front of his brother, or when you bring it up at all. Understand how he feels when you do the things you like, which is to call him out. Understand how he feels when you do the thing you believing it's for his own good, with no new words to say. And
You
how
wanted to show this side of him. You wanted to be accepted, if not supported. And I wasn't doing that.
yeah, you were calling him out. To be happy, you need him to tell you he loves you. Would that make you happy in that situation?
Probably not. I still be very angry and say, you're just lying.
So that would not make you happy.
No.
No, I think you're meeting who he lives with. In that situation in the car when he's taking a hit, you need him to stop using marijuana. For you to be happy, you need him to stop using marijuana. Is it true? Would that make you happy?
Mm. No, it's not true.
Okay, so here is your key to happiness. Let's look at another turnaround. For me to be happy, I need me to listen to him. So do that now. Just as it was, don't change his conversation, but without you, just listen to him. Is he commenting on something maybe Adyashanti he heard? Was he responding to his brother? Was he asking you something? Just be there now. Listen to him. He's taking a hit. Listen to him. Listen, he's your husband. Is he talking about the weather? Is he saying, let's do this, let's do that? Listen.
He's talking about how marijuana has been a tremendous help in his life, physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything.
Oh, honey, it's never too late to go back to him and say, I couldn't hear you in the car, sweetheart, but I hear you now. I hear you. I I would only say that if it's true. It's like I get this. I get it. I get it. I get it. And for what I said in the car, I apologize for. I'm sincerely sorry. And the next time I call you on it, please call my attention to it. I want this to be over. I hear how marijuana supports you.
Yeah.
And you're still not condoning it. You're just meeting him where he is and being open to it. To be happy, I need me to listen to him. So live these turnarounds. To be happy, I need me to understand how he feels. He was telling you in the car. Who are you without what you're thinking and believing as you hear his words in the car?
I would hear it much clearer.
Yes, and that would make you happy. You wrote this worksheet, I didn't. To be happy in that situation, he needs to do the things he likes. For me to be happy in that situation, I need me to tell him I love him. He's taking care of himself.
He is. Yes.
His path.
Yes.
And for all you know, it could ruin his health. It could make him more depressed. But you can't know his experience, especially when you're not listening and your ego's overriding it, overriding his experience with your fears about the future.
Right.
And if he begins to experience the worst thing because he's smoking, you can still be there for him with the option to leave. But you can't stop loving him if you're sane with or without him.
Mm.
Boy, I'm just, I'll say it again. I think this is the third time. I'm not guessing. This is always my experience I'm coming out of self-inquiry. You could be married to to you could divorce and marry someone else and divorce and marry someone else, but you're not going to lose the love you have for who you're married to now. The ego is going to find fault with anyone we live with or meet. That's how the ego is. But if your ego begins to trust you, that you're not trying to kill it, it will support your waking up to reality.
Mm.
It's seeking a home in your heart. And that's what self-inquiry is all about, the ego finding a home where it can rest. Self-love. Self-love is all inclusive. The world is who and what we believe it to be and can never be more or less. And no two people live in the same world. Your husband has found his path. You're finding your path. And together, something beautiful. Understanding is the power.
Yes.
To be happy, you need him to tell you he loves you. Is it true? In the car, would that make you happy? He takes a hit and he says, I love you. Would that make you happy?
No, it wouldn't make me happy.
Or he says, I love you, and 10 minutes later he takes a hit. And it's like, oh, he was
Betrayal.
lying. He was lying to me. If he really loved me, he wouldn't do that.
Right.
Ah, he really loves you, and he does do that. That's his path. And you can leave. That's his path. Without it, he is.
Not him.
That's where he's at. Let's look at 5. I'm past a deadline I have here, and just can't stop this. So let's look at 5.
I think he is mean, unloving, and selfish.
In that situation, I am.
Mean, unloving, and selfish.
You understand?
Yes.
And on the other side of our time together, get really still as you look back over this worksheet. Where were you mean? Where were you mean specifically in the car? your attitude, your facial expressions, what you say, the way you say it. Where were you mean? Where were you unloving? Specifically, what you said, you did, your attitude. This is so important. Where were you selfish in that situation where he is just trying to survive his emotional baggage?
Yeah, I said, I pretty much argued with him and I told him he was wrong for thinking that marijuana is some godsend, you know, remedy. Um,
Assuming he believes that. He didn't say that. You know, that's you putting that onto him.
yeah,
Listen to his words when he was telling you his experience of why he smokes. That's his reasons. They're valid. They're his.
that's why it was mean to dispute that.
Yeah. Yeah. You override, like, you know more of who he is than he does. And he hasn't heard it. It's not the first time he's heard it from you before.
No.
So he's mean. What's the opposite of mean? He was allowing.
Just allowing, he was open.
Yeah. Unloving, the opposite. In that situation, he was loving. Test it. Where was he loving?
He was. He took his time to explain to us why he did what he did. He didn't have to.
He was, yeah, he was selfish, turned around, he was generous.
Yeah, he offered to share his weed.
And his experience. And yeah, yeah, that's a big deal. So let's look at 6. What is it you never want to experience in that situation again? Number 6.
I don't ever want to experience him say, "This is who I am," and leave no room for discussion, compromising, or a resolution.
He left no room for discussion. Is it true? Is it true?
No, we discuss it all the time.
I'm willing to hear him say,
I am willing to hear him say, "This is who I am," because it's true.
so read what you wrote on number 6. I'm willing, I'm willing that he in the future leave no room for discussion,
I'm willing for him to leave no room for discussion,
no room for
compromise,
compromise,
no room to compromise,
no room for resolution.
and no room for resolution.
And I look forward to him
And I look forward to him
saying, this is who I am,
saying, "This is who I am,"
and leaving no room for discussion, compromise, or resolution.
and leave no room for discussion, compromise, or resolution.
Yeah, I'm willing to, I look forward to. And if you're not listening and taking in his experience, you're going to feel frightened again, threatened again, your security, all those things. So it's another worksheet. Your work's not done until it's done. So I'm willing to, I look forward to him leaving no room for discussion, compromise, or resolution when he says, this is who I am.
I'm willing to, and I look forward to.
Yeah. Yeah. All of those. And that's not selling out. That is waking up to who you're married to. And the way you love him, it all begins to make sense, and you can still leave. You're no prisoner other than the prison of your mind. In that situation, sweetie, in the car. Thank you, for Caitlin, for that beautiful open mind of yours and for being our teacher today. Addiction, you're hooked on what you're thinking and believing. And he's hooked on, who is to say what is the more lethal or unhealthy? Yeah. Okay, dears. Oh my goodness. I'm running way over. And Keith, if it's okay with you, honey, even though I have that interview, let's just let's mm, oh, okay. It's a live event. This interview is a live event. Okay. Okay, dears. Well, you have each other, you have the comment section, and please comment with each other about what your takeaways are, as we said in Caitlin's work today. I found Caitlin to be one of the most open-minded, um, as open-minded a dear as we've seen in our time together since COVID, when we first opened this event on the first day of lockdown, I think it was. But thanks to your contributions, we're staying alive, and I'm so grateful. And Caitlin, thank you again for being our teacher today, and thank you all for sitting in something beautiful.